Hi there. My name is Jackie Ridley, and I'm currently training to become a registered clinical hypnotherapist. And the reason for this video is that I am trying to encourage some volunteers to get in touch with me so that we can work together and I can get in enough hours for my certification. And these sessions will take place over the medium of Skype. Because as a future business venture, I can see that that's probably the way that I should be going. It allows me obviously to reach more people, and location then is not an issue. You don't have to be in the same spot as I am. Now, all you need for this is some basic equipment. Obviously, you need a computer, you need a webcam, you need some form of a sound system. You probably could use headphones if you wanted to. Uh, some of my volunteers say that they have worked with a smartphone. So we could experiment with that if that's what you prefer and you don't have the webcam, etc. But you must have Skype, obviously, otherwise we can't see each other. And I do need to see you. So just briefly then, for your information, what is hypnotherapy? And I should state right off the bat that hypnotherapy is nothing like stage hypnosis. A lot of people confuse the two, but nothing could be more diametrically poles apart. Stage hypnosis, for example, is just that. It's a staged event which is there for the edification of an audience. And the people who volunteer for this kind of stage hypnosis are usually people who are out for a bit of fun. They don't mind making fools of themselves in front of their buds. And so they're up for a bit of a laugh. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And the way the stage hypnosis selects his volunteers or his subjects is he gives them various suggestibility tests. And one of them is the finger clasp. So if you can see my fingers, he'll ask the subject to, or the people in the audience, to clasp their fingers as tight as they can. And then he will say, you can't open them. Try and open them as hard as you want. Keep pressing hard. Keep pressing hard. Well, obviously, if you're pressing hard in one direction, you can't pull in the other direction, so you can't unclasp your fingers. But their suggestible people will go along with the idea and decide for themselves that no, they can't unclasp their fingers. And so these are the subjects that the hypnotist wants. These are the ones that he or she wants to invite on the stage. And they tend to be people that are easily led, easily manipulated, and so that's what the hypnotist is looking for. Now, hypnotherapy is nothing like that. The emphasis, for example, is on the therapy, not on the hypnosis per se. The hypnosis is merely a tool. And the reason we use hypnosis is because we want to access the subconscious mind, because this is where many fears and phobias and anxieties, etc., reside. So we want to get at these problems, we want to get at the root cause of these problems, and we want to eliminate them. Now I'm just going to draw a pretty rough diagram, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. Now, if you can see that, uh, this top part here represents, let's say, about 10%. And this is what we call the theory of mind. So if you imagine this as your mind, the top 10% is your waking mind. And this is where you make decisions. It's logical. This is where your reason resides, etc. About 10%. Now, under that is the subconscious mind, and this represents about 80% of your mind. And this is where the fears and the phobias, the anxieties, etc., are sort of embedded. The subconscious mind is illogical. It has no sense of time. It's the seat of your emotions, and it's the seat of all influences that you've ever experienced, both good and bad. Any event that has ever happened to you is stored in the subconscious mind, because it's also the seat of your long-term memory. Now, because it has no sense of time and it's illogical, it tends to make connections that are of no use to you, actually, but do have an impact on your life. For example, if you were bitten by a dog when you were a small child, the subconscious mind will link that to the statement or the feeling that dogs are bad, dogs bite, stay away from dogs, and it will link that to all dogs. You were bitten by one dog, but the subconscious, because it's also very protective, will say all dogs are dangerous, stay away. So you see? So it makes these illogical connections, and unfortunately it tends to hold on to these things. It also holds on to unwanted things such as habits, and, as I say, phobias, fears, anxieties, depressions, and it hangs on to them tight. So the hypnotherapist aims to speak to the subconscious mind and explain that these things are illogical and they're not necessary and they're not relevant, and let go of them. And that's the basic overview of how the hypnotherapist works. It's a very cooperative venture. The therapist works along with the client. It's not self-hypnosis, it's a cooperative venture. Now, at the bottom of this diagram, the bottom 10% is what we call the primitive mind. And this is where your primitive urges or responses reside. For example, you've probably heard of the fight or flight response. When an animal or a person is in danger, the body immediately responds by putting adrenaline into the bloodstream, and you have two options. You can either run or you can stop and you can fight. And this is a primitive response. It probably came up when we were fighting saber-toothed tigers or something like that, or being trampled by a mammoth. So, in a nutshell, that's what hypnotherapy is about. And as I say, I'm looking for volunteers, and I would be delighted to answer any questions. And hypnotherapy addresses many things. such as anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress, chronic pain. Um, it even works on the other end, and you can work on enhancing your sports performance or learning a language, or you can learn to stop smoking uh, and weight loss, of course. All right, and it covers many things, sexual dysfunction too. There's not much actually that it doesn't cover. So I'd love to hear from you. Please contact me at any time, and we can take it from there and arrange some Skype sessions. My email is JackieRidley2010 at gmail.com, and Jackie is spelled Jacky, Ridley, Ridley, 2010 at gmail.com. Thank you. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.